it's Julia. Welcome back to my channel, and I'm so excited for today's video. Today we are doing another buddy reading vlog, but today we are buddy reading with my mom. She is a huge reader, and I thought it is about time that we do a video together and just do a little buddy read. We are going to be reading The Only One Left by Riley Sager. This is a highly anticipated read for me. I'm sure you guys have heard me talk about it enough in my recent videos, but I'm so excited to pick this one up, and I'm so excited to read it with her. I just felt like it's the perfect book to read with her. She loves thrillers, and I just think we're both gonna have so much fun. So I can't wait to share our thoughts and opinions about the book with you guys. So yeah, stay tuned. Okay, it is Thursday night. I got home a couple of hours ago, and I've just been editing my video for tomorrow. So once I finish that up, I am really excited. I'm going to finally pick up The Only One Left, and I literally can't wait. I'm about to text my mom and see if she's gotten the chance to pick it up today and get any thoughts and opinions from her so far. So that will hopefully make me even more excited to read. So yeah, I just wanted to update you guys. That is it for now. You guys, this book is perfectly floppy, and I am so excited to read the physical copy. At first I was like, oh, my neck hurts, and then I picked up perfectly floppy, and I'm so excited. Couldn't be more excited.
Hey everybody, I am Julia's mom, and together this week we're going to be reading The Only One Left by Riley Sager. I'm very excited to be doing this with Julia because I love to read, and I will be doing it on my Kindle. Whoops, it's upside down. I'll be doing it on my Kindle because I prefer reading on my Kindle to actual hard copies of books. It's mostly because I like to not have a ton of clutter in my house, and I don't have room to have a copy, like an actual copy of every single book I've read. So that would be like probably hundreds, thousands of books. So I'll be reading it on my Kindle, and I will share more clips of my reactions to certain aspects of the book as I go on with it. I'm very, very excited to be doing this with Julia because she's amazing, and I'm so happy she's my daughter. So we'll have a fun week reading together, and I look forward to telling you guys more about it. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Hey guys, it's the next day. I am getting sick, unfortunately, but it's okay because the only thing I have to do this evening is literally sit down and read this book. My mom just started it today. I started it last night, and I got to page 30-ish, and I'm definitely liking it so far, and I'm excited to see where it goes. We met a character, and I think there may be like a tiny bit, a twinge of romance subplot, but I'm not 100% sure, so we're gonna find out. You guys, I need to get sick more often because I am now on page 142. I've read over 100 pages just laying here, and I am on the edge of my seat. I just got so much information, and I'm freaking out. I just found out what's in the sand. If you know, you know. And I'm literally shook. I love our main character, and I'm just obsessed with this book. And yeah, that's all I have to say for now. Sorry for my sick voice. Hello. So I made it to chapter 20, page 160, and I think I'm gonna go to bed because it's way later than I meant to go to bed, and I need sleep to feel better for tomorrow for work. So I'm going to head to sleep, but I will keep you guys updated on my reading of the book. I'm loving it so far. I love the crumbs of information we're getting through the typewriter segments, and I just think it is so well written and so interesting. So yeah, I'm already obsessed with Riley Sager. That is all for now.
Hey, so I am up to chapter 6 in the book, and it's crazy. It sucked me in. It was like quicksand. I feel like I was reading and I kind of having a hard time getting into it initially, I have to say, but now I've formed some theories about how the book is going to play out. I don't know if I should say here if that's fair or a good idea, but yeah, I have some ideas about what's going to happen. I found it like when I read, I need it to be really quiet for me to get involved in the book and to get into the storyline. And so that did happen finally after a couple chapters. I'm just thinking how to phrase this. I feel that it's going to take a fairly dark turn. Maybe history will repeat itself in the book. So I will check back in, I guess, when I'm a little further in the book. Because like I said, I'm only starting chapter 6. But so far, it's good. Hey everybody, it's Saturday and I am pretty far into the book. I have to tell you that I can't stand a ton of suspense, even though I like psychological thrillers and things like that. It is taking all of my willpower to not go to the back of the book and find out what happens. I do that sometimes. I actually, because the suspense is too much for me, I'll go to the back of the book, like the last chapter, the last page, and skim it just to relieve some of the tension that builds up when I read. So in this situation, I'm gonna not do that, even though everything inside of me wants to, because it's so exciting.
Hey guys, it's the next day. I'm still very sick, so that's not great, but it does mean I will be able to read a lot today. So I think I'm going to pick up the book in a couple minutes and continue reading. I'm very excited, but I do not feel good at all, so it's okay. Hopefully my mom will be carrying this video for me because she's an icon, so tea. You guys, I'm on page 188, the beginning of chapter 23, and what I just found out is absolutely insane, and I'm shook, and I can't even tell you guys. Also, in the beginning, I predicted that there might be like a romance subplot. There is like technically romance, but it's not really romance. It's more like backstory, and the character that I predicted the romance to happen with in my head is definitely not going to be involved in a romance, I don't think. I think I just thought that because they were like, oh, he's handsome, but I do not think there's gonna actually be a romance, but I guess I'll find out. But what I just found out is actually insane. I have no words. So yeah, I'm about to underline that and then continue reading because what the heck. Okay, I wanted to take a break from reading to talk about one thing that I've noticed. Throughout the story, the house is like deteriorating and more severe damage is happening to the house the further that we get into knowing the story and the closer that we get to the truth of what's actually going on there. And I feel like the symbolism there is really cool, and it's interesting watching this like mansion and like all of like the lies or like the deceit within the story as that falls away, like pieces of the house are falling away, and I think it's really interesting. So I don't know if that was, I mean, I assume it's on purpose. I don't know if that's exactly what it's symbolizing, like us getting closer to the truth, or if we're gonna find out later what that kind of means, but that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting from it, and I find it really interesting.
Okay, so I'm almost done with the book, and it is crazy. I cannot get over how things flipped around and twisted, and it was very hard for me not to skip to the end, but I am holding on because now all of the secrets are being revealed. So I'm very excited, and I'm very happy Julia suggested this book, but it's been a wild ride to say the least. So I will keep you guys posted, let you know how it goes.
So the more reading I've done, the more I've realized that the cliff and the house slowly falling over the cliff, it is symbolism of Kit, like, getting closer to the forbidden, I guess. And I realized that from a line that said something about the house being pulled closer to the forbidden. I feel like that's exactly what's going on with Kit in the story right now. So that's my update. I'm gonna keep reading. I'm on page 244.
Hey, excuse my just woke up appearance, but I wanted to get on here and record the video because I finished the book last night and I don't even know how to express how amazing I thought it was. Every single twist in the book was completely shocking to me. I was not expecting any of them, basically. So I feel strongly that the book was really good. A little more, I don't know how to put this. It was a little tenser than I would prefer a book to be, like a little too much. Like it was like too twisty for me. But I almost want to reread it, and knowing what I know in my head now, I want to reread it and find out if it all makes sense. Like, does everything fit together like puzzle pieces, or are there any loopholes that the author didn't really tie up, or like little loose ends? That's what I mean, not loopholes, loose ends. So we'll see. If I decide to do that, I probably won't, I'll be totally honest. But I am interested. It's definitely worth reading. I don't know if I'm supposed to rate it. I know Julia always rates her books. I think I'd give it a 4 out of 5 stars because it's definitely worth reading. I think the author's style is very interesting. I like how he kind of like weaves things together and makes it so that you think it's going to go in a certain direction and then all of a sudden whew, goes the other way. So anyway, that's my thoughts. I love the book overall and I'm glad I read it, and I'm especially glad that I read it with Julia and that we got to do this together because I love doing things with Julia. Take care.
Hey guys, it is Monday night. I just got home from work. My mom finished the book, I think, Saturday night, so I have to catch up. I have 80 pages left, and so I'm going to try and finish it tonight, and I feel pretty confident about being able to finish it tonight, so that's good. That's the update, and then hopefully the next time you see me will be me talking about my immediate feelings about the ending and everything like that. So yeah, I'll see you guys in a little while. You guys, I'm not even done yet. I'm on page 349 and I'm so shook. This book has so many twists and turns. Like, you think it's over, you think you know everything, you think you've guessed it. No, you haven't. You haven't guessed it. Literally not even 2 pages later and I'm shocked again. I'm shocked again. What the heck is going on? What the heck is going on? Riley Sager. Who do you think you are? Okay, everybody, I am absolutely freaking shocked at the way that book ended. I literally still can't wrap my head around it, and I'm gonna need to think about it until tomorrow, but that's good because tomorrow me and my mom are going to have a little discussion about the book and film our final thoughts for you guys. So I'm gonna keep thinking, but all I can say is, what the fuck? What the fuck? Like, the entire book, there was twists and turns and twists and turns, literally up until the last page. I'm so shocked. Riley Sager is definitely my new favorite thriller author, for sure, 100%. I'm gonna go to bed and not sleep because of the book. All right, guys, there's a lot to unpack here. Okay. We have decided, after revisiting trying to film this clip, that we are going to do spoilers in this clip. So if you don't want to hear any spoilers and just want to skip to the outro, it will be at this timestamp right here down below. So if you don't want to hear any spoilers, you can skip right down to this timestamp right here. So
I don't see it.
just a warning. I'm gonna put it in later, okay?
Okay. It's not there.
So, first of all, I like knew that like something was off with Miss Baker, but like or Mrs. Baker, I did not.
It's Mrs.
Yeah, because she's the keeper of the house. That was so stupid when she said
I
that.
know,
I was like, okay, Mrs. Baker, Miss Baker. Anyways, every single twist and turn in this book is so overwhelming. You think you know what's gonna happen, and then like it's just like not what you thought. Like one of the parts that I like mainly realized that is when she's in the car with Carter and they just left because they just found out that Lenora is Virginia and Miss Baker is Lenora, which was the craziest twist ever. I was not ready for it. And it was interesting how right when she just like pushed a little and was like, I know you're not Miss Baker, that she just gave her all of the story. She's like, you're right, I'm not, I'm Lenora. You got me.
Yeah.
You got me. Here's what happened from my point of view.
I kept waiting for her to attack her. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, somebody's gonna die. There's gonna be...
well, because up to that point, we thought that she was still the one that killed Mary.
Yeah, that's true.
But then the biggest twist was that her father, which this doesn't make any sense, because you guys just need to read this book. Even if you're listening to the spoilers right now, read the book, because there's so much more that goes into the story.
Yeah.
But what really shook me is that her dad is Ricky, who was Virginia's baby daddy, and he killed Mary.
Yeah, like, dude, okay, you've made some poor choices in your life, you know what I mean, clearly, and now you have to ruin everything and definitely go to jail.
Yeah, like definitely, because you committed a whole other murder. The first one you could have probably gotten away with, even if she did tell the police. Yes. The statute of limitations was probably up.
Does it expire for murder?
I don't think it does. But still, like, it was an accident, too. Like, he only finished her off. She was gonna bleed out anyways.
She was like
not in a good place. Same thing, which is the same thing that he did with Kit's
had...
mom, which was crazy too. How could you let your child go through all of that? If you guys haven't read this book, this is probably an insane thing to watch. It sounds
crazy, but I'm gonna say this. I think this whole book is like an illustration of how you can get so in a situation in your head that you can't like get out of it in real life. You know what I mean? Like the mental prison you can put yourself in because of stupid things. Like, I mean, not always stupid. It can happen slowly, but like I was having thoughts during the book, like, why didn't she just go, like, leave the family and travel? But the psychological baggage, the manipulation, the fears she had were so strong that it prevented her from thinking clearly and objectively to actually go out and do you know what I mean? Like,
I also thought it was really interesting how they used the house, like, that is on the cliff, the estate, Hope's End, as like a metaphor for like getting closer to like because at one point there's a part in the book, I talked about it in one of my earlier clips, I think, where they said like, oh, like something like Kit is like relates to the house falling off of the cliff because she's like slipping closer and closer into like the forbidden. But then what was crazy to me is that Hope's End falls in the ocean and you think, okay, like the dad and the real Lenora, Mrs. Baker, die with the house. Kit goes to have this beautiful life with Virginia and like Archie and stuff, and then all of a sudden it's like, one last spoiler, she can walk and talk, and she left.
That was crazy. Like, because I was like, okay, at least you go down these mental passageways to like make yourself feel better and relieve some of the tension. So I was like, okay, the house has been destroyed, but at least now, what's her name? Virginia is going to be out and she'll be with Kit, who cares about her, and so it's really confusing.
But I don't think that was her plan all along to leave. I think obviously after hearing from Jessie, who ends up being her granddaughter, who is one of our other supporting characters in the book, which is also crazy. I feel like after like Jessie like reached out to her, she realized, because she said at a part she thought about leaving and traveling sometimes, but then she thought, it's been so long that I like don't know how the world is.
Yes, so then she was so sheltered.
Yeah, she was so sheltered. So then when she like saw the TV, saw the boombox, like lived with Kit for a little while and understood like where the world is at now, like technologically and just like, you know, like what's going on. She was like, oh, I can handle this. I'm good.
Right.
I'm just gonna.
Because this book is set in the 80s.
Yeah, so the book is set in 1983, and the massacre of the Hope family took place in 1929.
Yeah.
So it's
big gap,
but very interesting because you're following like an old woman finally coming to terms with everything that happened. And it is insane to me that like the whole book I thought it was going to be either Lenora or Miss Baker or like somebody in the house that committed the murders. But then it flips on his head and it's like, no, it's our main character's father. And he also committed the murder that she was accused of, which is insane. Or like, not really murder, but it was like, it was like negligence.
Were you also surprised to learn like they were talking about, this was one of the first surprises for me. And I pride myself on being somebody who can
I can predict, yes. I usually read a book and I'll be like, okay, I kind of know what's happening.
There was no it almost felt to me like old school, watching Scooby-Doo. Okay, just follow me on this. When they find the villain and they're like, well, of course it was this person because of this, and this. And you're like, how did you arrive at that conclusion?
Yeah.
Like, you're just making stuff up. You know what I mean?
They're making stuff up that was not shown in the show at all. Like in the episode, they're like, oh, of course it was you because you own this building. And it's like, you didn't even say that they own this building, maybe like, very briefly, but like we would never have come to that conclusion.
It's like, okay, you're just not letting us in on all the info to make the decision. But with this, that's how surprised I feel about this book. Like the first thing with the mother, the kid's first patient who she killed, and then it turns out to be
her mother.
Which
I had
why the dad...
I had a feeling that it was like, because after they said her mother had died, I was like, okay, there's a possibility of it being her mother. I feel like that was something I predicted. I also, in the scene with Carter, in the car, when she's on her way to her dad's house to tell him everything she found out about Lenora and Virginia, and then obviously she realizes it is her dad because she finds Mary's suitcase on his bed with the whole story and the blood sample and everything, and then you find out Mary went to him first, everything, all this stuff. But I remember when they're in the car and she kicks Carter out of the car and she's like, you killed Mary because you were upset and you wanted to be like the owner of the estate.
Right.
I was like, oh my God, like I thought I predicted that. I was like, oh my gosh, that is like what happened. Like, oh my gosh, that makes sense. Carter killed her. But like also at the same time I was like, but Carter is like a good character. I was like kind of shocked by it but I predicted it once he got in the car with her. I was like, should you be letting him into the car because we still don't know who killed Mary?
Yeah, and you haven't even gotten off the grounds yet.
Yeah,
right?
I was expecting him to get in the car and then say to her like, well, yeah, I am their grandson and I've known that this whole time.
Right.
Like, whatever. But once you find out that she gave birth prematurely, then it's like, what the heck?
Yeah.
Anyways,
read the book, guys.
All of this to say, you need to read a Riley Sager novel. They are so incredible. Like the way that he articulates stories and brings them to an end that you'll never expect. Even if you consider yourself someone who reads a lot of thrillers, the way that this story closed was just like the most shocking thing ever. The last like 100 pages were just like twist after twist after twist up to the last page of the book. And it was just absolutely incredible. And like...
almost too many twists.
Almost too many twists. I will say that.
Yeah, I felt like I couldn't relax.
Yes. There was well, that's not really, you don't want to relax during a thriller. But
at some point I do. At some point
I want to feel happy. And you feel happy in the last paragraph of this book only.
Only
in the last paragraph you felt okay.
Yeah.
But you guys should definitely check the book out. Thank you so much for following along on our buddy read. I definitely recommend Riley Sager as a thriller author. And I think that I'm going to give this book I'm in between like, because I don't think I got that 5-star feeling, but also when I put it down, I was jaw dropped. Like when I finished, I was so shocked. But I don't think I got the 5-star feeling, so I'm almost leaning towards, which is a crazy rating to give it, but like a 4.75.
Wow.
Just because it was so like in depth, like everything, like it really had me shocked. Like for a thriller, that is all I can ask for. Like how can a thriller get any better?
Yeah.
But I don't know if it gave me the 5-star feeling. I was also very highly anticipating this read, and I didn't read it as quickly as I would want to. I read it in like 4 or 5 days. You read it in like 2 days. But I had a busy weekend, so I couldn't read it. So I wish I could have been like glued to it more, you know? And I think that would have made me like it more. And you said what? A 4?
Yeah, 4 stars for me.
All right, so we got a 4 and a 4.75. Average together, we're at like a 4.35, 27.
27.6.
Is that true? Really?
No.
Oh. I was like, okay, math genius. Okay. All right, everybody, that is going to be the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in our next reading vlog, and you'll definitely be seeing more of Mom.
Hey.
Bye.
Bye.